More than half of all London boroughs are affected by gang violence, which can erupt, especially when someone strays into the wrong area. For some young people, the difference between life and death can rest on a postcode. Now, a review by the Home Office is looking at how best to tackle the issue. Our special correspondent Kurt Barling looks at one project which moves gang members away from their home turf to try and keep them out of trouble.
These are the moments at a South London school gate in 2010 when 15-year-old Zach Olumegdon was stabbed to death, a victim of gang-related youth violence. 4 teenagers were later found guilty of his murder. This teenager wasn't involved in that incident. His gang allegiances, though, means he's only agreed to talk with me on condition of anonymity for fear of reprisals.
We'll have issues with another area, then it just turned out to a school fighting another school. Then from then, it just turned out to a gang. We just used to go around fighting. We'll be outside a bus stop, someone will come off a bus that goes to a certain school that we don't like, we'll go around fighting them. Then it all started there, then we became popular and people used to fear us.
Fear breeds violence, and according to those at the heart of the government's strategic review of gangs, triggered by the 2011 riots, levels of violence are often underreported.
We constantly get these statistics presented to us suggesting that crime is going down and that the situation is being managed, when in fact what the community is saying is that the reporting may have reduced, but the actual violence on the street is increasing.
Murders and convictions we hear about. CCTV sometimes catches the perpetrators. Experts broadly agree that the spiral of violence is sucking in ever younger victims.
It's getting a lot worse. People around us was dying from a young age. We would have equipment that many people wonder how did we even get hold of at that age. So definitely.
Equipment.
Yeah,
what do you mean equipment?
Maybe firearms, knives, all of these types of stuff.
It's doing well at the moment.
The government's review has been led by people who work with gang members at street level and looked at 18 hotspots for gangs in London where urgent intervention is needed. Getting youngsters out of gangs is the priority, and Southwark Council's Gang Intervention Unit has spearheaded work in this area.
The figures that will tell you about a young person or losing their life to gun or knife crime is calculated around about £1.5 million in terms of the criminal justice system, healthcare, etc. Do we really think that actually finding someone some work, moving them into some formal education or employment, employing some mentors in order to provide that service is going to cost us a lot more than that?
Some unexpected revelations have also come from this year-long review. It's not just about law and order, but also the risks of long-term psychological damage.
Trauma is a big problem, but so is mental health generally. So 1 in 3 young people who offend have an unmet mental health need at the time of offence. And we're seeing trauma, we're seeing clinical depression, we're seeing particularly with 19, 20-year-old males, young people that are beginning to show signs of an early psychotic illness. And we're also witnessing any combination of those difficulties.
This is the Southwark team, including ex-gang members, who identify those who are most vulnerable and at greatest risk, and then rehouse them away from their home turf.
What we have to make sure we do more of is go out and provide those opportunities, make sure people know that they are there, help them along that journey. We have to have some form of enforcement, because there are some people that to change their lives, they need to know there is a position where we will not go beyond. That has to be in place.
No one forced this young man into a gang, but he now believes the only way to start a new life is away from old haunts. A life or death choice.
I think 2 of my friends got guilty for murder, so they got 30 years, and I was thinking, I don't want to be in jail. This could have easily been me. We do the same thing. I could be in jail for 30 years as well, or I could be dead like my friend, and I don't want to be in that position.
Kurt Barling with that report. Next.